Hello. Okay, hello. This is Rhonda Pierce with SCHMETZ needles, SCHMETZ home sewing machine needles. And we've got our November SCHMETZ Snippet live. And I'll just wait another minute or so as people come on online. I'm kind of guessing everyone's busy between work and outside activities. We've got stuff going on. But I see we have Mumtaz tailoring classes. So hello and tell me where you're from. So as you come on, tell me where you're from. I see Maria's here from Florida. Southern Belle Blessed is from Ohio. Awesome. Always like to know where you're from. And besides where you're from, gosh, tell me what you're sewing. Always like to know what you're sewing. So anyway, it's a minute past, and I think we'll go ahead and get started. Christy is here from Arizona, so fantastic. Welcome. We've got a few other people. You can watch this live on our website at smetsneedles.com. Just click the icon for live video. You can watch on Facebook, SCHMETZ Needles. You can also watch on YouTube, SCHMETZ Needles, all one word, on YouTube. So Mumtaz Tailoring says that she's from India, so welcome. Southern Belle is making bags and clothing. Anita's working on quilts, quilts for grandkids for Christmas gifts. Awesome. Yes, great. Cheryl is here from North Dakota. Darlene's working on a quilt for her son's Christmas present. 'Tis the season. I don't know if you noticed, but on Facebook, we started to post needles that might be appropriate for your holiday sewing. So be sure to check that out. All right. So last month, our mystery question was to describe your sewing room. And wow, there were so many great responses. Sheila Ryan from Texas was our winner last month, and she won that awesome giveaway from all of our supportive industry friends. And I've got a new mystery question for this month. So hang on and I'll give it to you shortly. Christy says she's working on a UFO that's 5 years old. You know what? Sometimes I say UFOs, those unfinished objects, just have to season for a little bit before you can actually finish them. And you know what? I've got one of those projects seasoning right now. It's a beautiful coat, and I just haven't quite finished it. It's probably a year old. So, but I've had UFOs for 15 and 20 years, and one of the things I did during COVID was to finish those UFOs. So, okay. Cindy, I don't know how to do that. Shares as public, so more we'll see. Okay, maybe we can get that done next time, but I don't see. Let's see. Share as public. And let me see if I can do that. Well, I don't think I can get that done right now, and Paul can't do it right now either. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Last month's question, describe your sewing room, and you know what? I don't have my comments here. Here they are. There were so many descriptions of sewing rooms, and you know what? Some people have dedicated sewing rooms and others don't. Some of us, some are sewing at the kitchen table or the dining room table, and you know what? That is just fine. I've done that many times, and for many years, I had a dedicated table in the guest bedroom. So, you know what? We sew in all kinds of ways. ways. Sometimes we have TVs in our sewing rooms. I don't, but a couple of people said that they do. And some people describe their sewing rooms as their happy place. So I love, love, love that. All right. So, I'm here in the Chicago area, and guess what? In less than an hour, I'm going to be virtual in the UK. I'm excited because at the top of the hour, I'm giving a presentation for a friend that I met several decades ago, Catherine, at Quilt Direct in the UK. She owns a quilt shop and Bernina dealership, and she asked me to do a SCHMETZ virtual for her. So I'm excited to go virtually to the UK. It's been a few years since I've been there. So I'm overdue to an actual in-person visit, but virtual will do for right now. So let's look at the SCHMETZ newsletter. How many of you checked out the SCHMETZ newsletter? How do you get this newsletter? Well, you're going to go to schmetzneedles.com, and after about 20 seconds, you get one of those irritating that pop-ups that says sign up for the SCHMETZ newsletter. It comes out monthly. But I will tell you that next week we're going to have our holiday offering. And I'll be right up front with you. It is not a tin this year. We are not providing a holiday tin, but I think you're going to love this new idea that we have. So if you receive the SCHMETZ Needles newsletter next week, you should get a specific email with our holiday gift. So keep your eyes open for that. And if you're interested in that gift, I suggest that you respond right away because they're going to go fast. We hope to have a gift for everybody, but it's hard to guess sometimes. So here in the new November newsletter, yes, I was in Houston last week for a whole week. First, going to Houston for International Quilt Market, which is the wholesale market. So there were quilt shops from around the world that were there, and also vendors from around the world. So I was able to catch up with a lot of my industry friends and lots of influencers, etc. So I made this little collage of people that I met up with. And of course, many of you are familiar with Mary Malari, and Mary has a new fabric collection that's coming out. Oh, I think it's this month, based on vintage Valentines. It's a fabric line from Marcus Brothers, and Mary had saved Valentines that she had received from her mother. So now they're vintage Valentines. So Mary actually printed the vintage Valentine fabrics about 2 decades ago. And Marcus Brother Fabrics came back and said, hey, let's do that again. So I look forward to seeing that. And here she is in the Marcus Brother booth with the fabric card with swatches, etc. So I saw Lisa Shaw from Sew Bubbles. You know, Lisa is a sewing embroidery expert. Katrina Walker, we'll always love Katrina. She's a serger expert and knows how to fit. And so always a pleasure to see her. Yeah, we've got Sonia here with a very creative item that she made, that little toy there, or stuffed animal. Teresa Coates and Hawk, you know, if you are a fan of Shannon Fabrics, you know that she, for many years, was the national educator. She's gone independent now. And if you got the newsletter, you know that I featured one of her patterns, the little pouch. Quilt Works, oh my gosh, how many of you made a Quilt Works pattern? I love Quiltworks, but I have not yet made one of their patterns. And Quiltworks Judy likes to use the SCHMETZ microtext size 7010. So if you're working on one of those intricate quilts, microtext 7010 is her favorite needle. Sally Tomato. How many of you love and use her patterns and all those beautiful fabrics for the totes and purses, etc.? And actually, in January, I'm going to do a Sally Tomato virtual class for them, and we've put together a Sally Tomato bundle of their favorite SCHMETZ needles. So we're finalizing that now, and I'm really excited. So that's Jessica in the middle with her mom, Renee, and her colleague, Audra. So Sally Tomato. Many of you know Tula Pink, and wow, Tula Pink, you gotta love Tula Pink. Tula Pink released her 50th fabric collection, and I love, adore not only Tula, but her designs also. And we met probably, 20 years ago, maybe not 20 years ago. So it's always wonderful to see Tula and her beautiful designs. Wonderful, of course, we're friends with Wonderful. I've got Jennifer from Australia and Sam from the Seattle area, and we were in the Wonderful thread booth. Here in the middle, isn't this spectacular? In the Quilt Festival, which is open to the public, and a few days after the market, they had cascading quilts hanging from the ceiling. The quilts had a theme of red, white, and blue. And International Quilt Festival was holding their and celebrating their 50th year. So International Quilt Market, the wholesale market, was celebrating 45 years of business, while International Quilt Festival, which is open to the public, was celebrating 50 years. So lots of champagne, lots of celebrations. And you know, Carrie, who founded International Quilt Market and Festival, I really say congratulations to Carrie. You've brought so much creativity to our industry, and I'll stitch with friendship among all these quilters around the world. So thank you, Carrie, for elevating our quilting in the world around us. So I just had to talk about that because you know what? Quilt Festival and Quilt Market is so very special. All right, in the newsletter, I talked about the SCHMETZ Gold Top Stitch Needle. Now, this is one of the newer needles, and gold, which is titanium, helps to keep the needle cool, and also titanium helps give the needle extra strength. So this needle, you can certainly use it for your piecing and quilting, some of your heavier fabrics, and for your machine embroidery. Some people like titanium needles. So now you have this option with the gold top stitch. The other feature I want to mention about the top stitch needle is, like the regular chrome needle, the top stitch needle has an elongated eye. So there's less stress on the thread as it's passing through the eye of the needle. So the top stitch gold needle, you will not find in the big box stores. You're going to go to your local sewing machine dealer, and some of your quilt shops will have the gold top stitch needle also. The gold top stitch comes in two sizes 80 and 90. Plus, there's a combo pack with both sizes, 80 and 90. So check your local sewing machine dealers for the top stitch gold needle. The other thing I want to mention about gold top stitch is, so very easy. My friend Laura Koya, she did a video at So Very Easy on YouTube. So SEW, very easy on YouTube, all one word. And she talks about the SCHMETZ Gold. So go in and click that, and you can learn a little bit more. And you know, Laura's always so inspirational. She does a lot of different types of sewings and is very clever. At Quilt Market, I also ran into Sue O'Very. Many of you know Sue O'Very as Suki Sews. That's Sookie. Suki or Sue just came out with a new book on sergers, and it's a little pocket-sized book on sergers. And guess what? Sue is a huge fan of SCHMETZ needles, and she loves the SCHMETZ needle system ELX 705 for her serger. So you'll want to check out her new book. I mentioned earlier I got in touch with Teresa Coates and she has her own pattern line. And this is the patchwork pouch. So check that out. And you could click Dream Team Community or Crinkle Dreams, and you'll find more about Teresa. Ooh, so lots of information here. Okay, so before I scoot along, let me give you the question. Oh, Cindy says she took a 3-day class with Judy Niemeyer of Quiltworks in Grand Island, Nebraska. Fantastic! I would love to take one of Judy's classes. Tisha says Tula's one of her favorites. Southern Belle blesses. She's looking forward to the Sally Tomato virtual. Let's see. All right. Oh gosh, Cindy's made several Quiltworks patterns. Wow, that's impressive. Quilting Tangent is in New York, and she's ironing fabric for a new quilt. Okay, awesome. Diane is from downtown Chicago. Well, I'm probably about 15 miles from Chicago in Willowbrook, just to give you some perspective. Okay, so let's scoot along. And today's question, I'm going to go ahead and give you today's question for the random giveaway. And then I'll show you all the goodies that are in today's giveaway. So to win today's giveaway, you need to answer, are you sewing for the holidays? Are you already sewing for the 2024 holidays? And if so, what kind of holiday projects are you working on? Maybe you're making a Christmas tree. Maybe you're making a Hanukkah project. Maybe you are making gifts for grandchildren. I think somebody already mentioned that. So in the chat, to be the random winner, you need to answer, are you sewing for the holidays? And if so, what projects are you sewing? And sewing, that can be quilting, that could be crafting. What are you making for the holidays? So go ahead and put your answers in the chat. And by the end of today's snippet, I will have the winner announced. Okay, so let's look at our giveaways for today. Well, we have Shannon Fabrics. You know, I'm a huge fan of Shannon Fabrics. And this is Felix the Fox. And this makes everything you need to use to make this wonderful Felix the Fox quilt is in here, except for the needles. But guess what? What needle do you use with Cuddle or Minky fabric? You use SCHMETZ Stretch 9014. So guess what? Those needles are in today's giveaway. So thank you, Shannon Fabrics, for this wonderful, generous kit. Also, fabrics I have from Timeless Treasures. I have these wonderful tone-on-tone fabrics. And actually, these are batik fabrics. So this is a wonderful collection of Timeless Treasures called Tonga Treats, and they're from Indonesia. Yep, there's 40 pieces that are 2.5 inches wide and about 44 inches long. So wow, isn't that great? So thank you, Timeless Treasures. We have Amy Barrickman's wrap. You know, these are always popular, and you know the weather is changing, so this is perfect. We have Mary Malari's half and half apron pattern. And when I was at Quilt Market, Mary Malari was my roommate for a few nights. She was only there for a few days, but it was always fun to meet up with Mary. So she's got her half and half apron here. From my friend Tony at Quilt Tony, we've got that digital mermaid, the fantasy mermaid that measures 35 by 51 inches. If you're into cosplay or this would be a really fun pattern for maybe one of your grandkids or even for yourself. We've got, of course, Threads Magazine, always a wealth of information, a classic and certainly a collector's issue. This was new for me. This is a floral heart pincushion. And one of the trends that I saw in Houston was combining crewel work, crochet, and quilting. What a combo, right? Here's a little example that you can kind of see right here. So these little quilt blocks are stitched together to create a square, and then squares are crocheted together. And then this is a little kit which includes the monk cloth, so you can make your own little pincushion. So that's part of today's giveaway. I have a sampling of Quilter's Dream. Oh my, ever so lovely, nice batting from Poppy Cotton. Look at this. I was in Texas. So this is a boot scootin' boogie quilt. Isn't that fun? So it requires one fat quarter bundle, so 31 pieces, and some additional fabric. So here you've got the pattern. So I think this is a lot of fun, and I love the colors. The fabric that's featured is called Calico Cowgirls by Lori Woods of Poppy Cotton. So you can see that fabric line at your local sewing machine dealer. So someone's going to win this pattern here today. From our friends at Taylor Seville, I've got the 2-in-1 seam ripper. So, yeah, what's the most frequently used tool outside of your sewing machine needle, your SCHMETZ needle? And that would be the seam ripper. So we've got the seam ripper right here. And, Taylor Seville, they're the ones that make those fantastic magic pins, those cushiony pins. So now they've got this retractable seam ripper. So that is part of today. Of course, I've got a Grab It My pad for organize your slightly used needles. Keyword, slightly used, but yet usable. We've got some other Grab It items, the jumbo bobbin saver square for your jumbo bobbins. And for your regular size bobbins, we've got the round original bobbin saver. If you're looking for Christmas ideas, there's always the mini Grab It's. This is sold as a set of 3. So maybe, when I put this set together, it was a mini Grab It for your sewing machine, your ironing board, and your easy chair for when you're doing your hand stitching. Of course, you can use it for your paper clips and maybe that junk drawer that's got all kinds of stuff in it, etc. So the mini Grab It's. We've got, I've been collecting these industrial SCHMETZ needle boxes. So I've got SCHMETZ needles that will be in this little box, a variety of needles. So today's giveaway includes some bulk needles. And these are top stitch size 80 needles. So this is top stitch. If you're not familiar with bulk, SCHMETZ bulk, these you can find at a few stores, machine dealers, maybe a couple of quilt shops. Certainly at SCHMETZneedles.com, there are 100 needles in here, 100 loose needles. So if you are a power sewer and you know what needle you like, you can save a little bit of money by getting the bulk packaging. And again, these you'll find at SCHMETZneedles.com. So also, we've got, regular needle packs of SCHMETZ needles. And of course, because of that Shannon Fabrics kit, we've got the stretch needle in the size 90-14, which is what you're going to use for the Shannon fabric, cuddle fabric. And also included is a smaller size 75-11 in the stretch needle. And of course, we've got the ABC pocket guide and the luggage tag. And let me see, I think there are answers coming in, so that's awesome. Again, the question is, are you sewing for the holidays? And if so, what projects? Okay, I have one other thing that will be in, this was a last minute gift item. Because I got back from Quilt Market and Festival. So it was not included in the picture, but I'm so excited. And it was kind of hard for me to give this away, but this is the Tula Pink Tote, celebrating 50 fabric collection. So her most recent fabric collection is the Full Moon Forest #2. So this is one side of the tote, and on the other side she has all these little woodland or forest creatures, birds, squirrels, raccoons, owls, etc. So it is adorable. And I'm giving away because you know what? These are my colors. That magenta, that green. I love, love, love these colors. So also with her tote, I've included a brochure, the catalog of her newest fabric collection. So isn't this special? I really don't want to give it away, but you know what? Somebody else can enjoy it. I already saw the fabrics. Look at these swallows. Aren't these beautiful? Yes. So anyway, okay. So glad to see that you are answering. Now, I know that there were a couple questions that came in here today, and so I'm going to go ahead and answer those. Oh, well, Anita had a really good idea about the Grab It My Pad. Here's what it looks like when you go to the store. It'll be in a clear envelope, probably hanging from the wall. So the Grab It My Pad, what is it? It's that extra thick piece of felt. I updated it during COVID, so all of your SCHMETZ needles are shown here using the appropriate color. So blue for jeans, red for embroidery, etc. And then there's a cell for each of the different needle sizes. So embroidery comes in two sizes, 75-11 and 90-14, and then there's an embroidery twin. So if you have some slightly used needles, you just slide the needle into the appropriate needle type and size. It comes with a little flower head pin. So if you've got some of the older SCHMETZ needles that don't have the color coding, once you take that needle out of the package and put it into your needle holder, just slide the flower head pin into the appropriate needle type and size. So now you don't have to rely on your memory. So Anita's idea was to put double stick tape. Well, at least that's what she does. She uses double stick tape on the back, and then she mounts it to the wall. So she has this hanging right next to her sewing machine, but it's on the wall. So I thought that was a really clever idea. What I do is I have it just leaning against my light source next to my sewing machine. So those are little ideas for you. All right, let me put that there so I make sure it goes out. Diane asked, how often do you need to change out the microtex needle, especially when you're piecing quilts? Okay, so the microtex needle has a very slim acute point, a very slim acute point. The generic name for a microtex needle is a sharp needle. So the microtex needle with that very slim acute point, guess what? it's going to dull quicker than any of your other needle types. So you will need to replace your microtex more frequently than any other needle type. So how long does a microtex needle last? I'm going to say, I don't know. What you need to do is to be aware of the clues to change the needle. What's happening to your thread? Is your thread breaking and shredding? That's a clue that you need to change out your needle. When you're sewing, what's happening to your fabric? Is your is the needle snagging your fabric or puckering your fabric? Or in a really bad case, the needle is tucking the thread and tucking the fabric into your throat plate. So, hello, those are clues that you need to change out the needle. What's another clue? Well, what's happening to your stitches? Are your stitches skipping? Are your seams uneven? Or maybe your stitches are wiggly squiggly. Well, guess what? You need to change out your needle. And then, while you're sewing, you need to be aware of the sound. While you're sewing, your machine should be humming along. And then you start to hear that little click, click, clicking sound. And what is it? It's your needle saying, hey, I've been working hard here. Change me. If you ignore the clicking, it graduates to a pop, pop, popping sound. Now your needle is yelling at you, change me, change me. And if you ignore the clicking and the popping, what's happening now? Clunk, clunk, clunk. So needles don't last forever. You really need to change them out. And I always suggest you have a little stash in your sewing room of needles so you can change them out, whether you're sewing at 7 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, or 2 o'clock in the morning. Have your needles handy. So Diane, yes, you do need to change your microtex needle more frequently, so be aware of the clues to changing out your needle. Juanita asked, oh no, this was not an ask. This was bringing to my attention that the packaging of the little SCHMETZ needle chips is sometimes kind of difficult to open. So we recognize that, so stay tuned. I don't have an easy solution for you right now, but I will tell you when you go to open your package, you need to kind of squeeze and push down the plastic cover, and then you can bend back the upper portion of the plastic chip so you can reach your needles a little bit closer. So, yes, Stephanie, you are absolutely right. Changing out the needle is the cheapest fix for a sewing problem. All right. So, let me see if there are any other questions. Oh, Jennifer, I'm sorry you injured your wrist. Darn. I hope you can sew very, very soon. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is funny. Tisha is saying her two-year-old granddaughter keeps pointing at the quilt. Okay, so the quilt in my background is a unicorn. Yeah, so almost a horse and much more. It is a unicorn, and it's kind of hard to see, but it has a pink unicorn. So, oh, that's adorable. All right, let's see what other comments we have here. Okay. Well, Paul has just handed me the winner for today. And our winner today is Shirley Ponder. Shirley Ponder, you are our giveaway winner today. And you have won all those great sewing gifts. She says that she's making gifts for her guild's Christmas party, which is later in the month. And she's making a cork, book cover, and so much more. And she loves SCHMETZ needles. So Shirley, to win your prize, you need to send an email to info@schmetzneedles.com, info@schmetzneedles.com. Send your shipping address, and we'll get your giveaway shipped out right away. All right. So let me just tell you that next month, next Wednesday, the first Wednesday of December is December 4th. And guess what? I'm going to be in transit. I'm flying to Quitman, Texas. Well, I fly into Fort Worth, Dallas, and I will be going to the Sewing Expo at Stitch in Heaven in Quitman, Texas. And this is what, my third or fourth time. And wow, there's so many people that show up for my class. When I get classes filled with 60, 80, almost 100 people, I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Stitch in Heaven is really a wonderful store. They're a machine dealer. They've got kits. They organize cruises. They have all kinds of activities throughout the year. And this educational weekend, the Sewing Expo, is awesome. So if you have a chance to go, I know they bring in bus tours from all over the area, even outside of Texas. It's a big deal, and I'll be there. So I will be flying at noon Central Time on Wednesday, December 4th. So probably later in the day. I'm not sure the time. And maybe it'll be that evening. Drive time is about an hour and a half to get from Fort Worth to Quitman, Texas. So I'm not quite sure. So what am I saying here? Check the newsletter, and I will have details for the time and day for the next SCHMETZ Snippet Live. I hope to have some special guests from right there at Stitch in Heaven, but I just don't know the time right now. So keep that in mind. Also, this afternoon, you can do the textile talks. Those are free lectures. This afternoon, who is this afternoon? Let me see. It's Go Tell It, quilt stories from Quilts of Valor Foundation. So that you can go to, if you Google Textile Talks, you'll get the link, or you can go to the Quilt Alliance and register. There's no charge for it, but they like to know who's showing up. So that's at 2:00 Eastern time if you want to take part in that. Did I get everything in the newsletter? Seems like I might have missed something. I think I got everything. All right. So I'm going to scoot along to the UK virtually. I want to thank each of you for being here today. I want to congratulate Shirley for winning today's giveaway. And I want you to be in a sewing frenzy over the next few weeks and get all of your holiday gifts done. I'm going to a sew retreat with Mary Malari, Rita Farrow, and Deanna Springer before Thanksgiving. So I'm going to get some of my sewing done. It's been a busy year for me with lots of travel and lots of virtual, and I haven't really gotten that much sewing done. So I hope to make up for that in the next couple of weeks. So, okay, everyone, thank you for being here today, and I will see you next month. So SCHMETZ, everybody. Thank you for being here.